We're blessed and inspired and grateful that you're here. We're talking about the new behavior generator, which is a guided visualization exercise that allows you to transform any old behavior that no longer serves you and integrate a new empowering behavior. And you're going to have an opportunity to see a demonstration in a moment. So what's a behavior that you've been doing that you want to let go of? Something that no longer serves you. Something that I always say that you're ready to do for the very last time today. So what would be an example of that? And I'll give you some examples. Let's say that someone invalidates themselves. Okay, where they say, well, I don't know, what do you think? And they're continually deviating their choices to another person. And they say, that's not empowering me. I'm feeling disempowered. I want to change that. This process can help with that. I'll give you another example, and then you can share with me some of what you would like to change specifically, and I want to make sure that we make this very real for you. So I'm going to ask every person to pick a behavior in a moment, and make it a behavior. This exercise is not for the root cause challenge in your life, for example. If someone says, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, that's a different technique. Does that make sense? When I'm navigating with someone that says, I'm dealing with these feelings of inadequacy or not being good enough, I will work with a different process on the timeline to find the root of that and help them gather insights, learnings, recontextualize that experience so that they begin to see their life from this new, expanded, enlightened perspective, okay? Now, for this exercise specifically, it's about changing a behavior. So, another example of a behavior is negativity, speaking negatively. Someone that gets caught up in negative gossip, for example. Eating unhealthy. Overeating. Overeating, sometimes we use a different technique because there's a trigger often for overeating, meaning someone gets to a certain place, let's say of anxiety, something triggers something, and then a sequence of events happens. So usually when I work with anything that has a trigger, we use a technique that allows us to go before the trigger, so that we could create change. Here is, let's go some other examples. Walking in unprepared to a meeting, criticizing. Give me some other examples. Let's get some microphones, and I want to make it very real for you, and I only would like to hear from someone who would love to be the demo. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'd love to be the demo, the question becomes, what is a behavior that you are ready to do for the very last time today? Yes, beautiful lady. Give her a microphone. Give her a hand first. Thank you.
For me, the hardest thing is, or not the hardest thing, but one of the things is getting up and out of bed in the morning.
Okay.
To actually motivate. There's lots of things. I'm very motivated in a lot of the things that I want to do, but to actually get the action going.
To get the action going. Okay. So let me ask you this. Trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to wipe out any blocks in the context of you getting up from that place?
Definitely.
So trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to fully and completely let go of any blocks and for you to be aware of it consciously right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. Would any part of you object to that?
Not at all.
Okay, fantastic. Give her a hand. That's good. How would you like to be instead?
I would like to be dynamic.
Okay.
I would like to be energized. And intentional and disciplined, which is probably one of my hardest.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to integrate those dynamic, disciplined, as you wake up in the morning?
Definitely.
Would any part of you object?
Not at all.
Okay, fantastic. Give her a hand. Okay. Does that, just so I'm clear, because I like to ask a lot of questions to make sure that it's ecological before we go, because the process is going to work. Does that still give you room to kind of like have a relaxing wake up, like on a Sunday, if you want to be able to just chill and not wake up like dynamic and woo?
More so because to me, a good wake up would start with my Kundalini yoga.
Okay.
And so that gives me the state of relaxation, but yet dynamic at the same time.
So I'm just checking here because I'm committed to be that thorough. I'm not going to want to create a process that's going to have someone waking up every day going, "Wah!" We're ready. Unless that's congruently, authentically aligned whatever that looks like for them. So now she's giving me more information. I wake up with Kundalini yoga, brings me into my calm, brings me in my center. It totally works for me. I love that. So this is ecological. Make sense? Thank you so much. The other reason why I asked, trust your intuitive wisdom, would it be okay for you to let go of this, is in order for the process to work, it is absolutely essential to get a congruent yes. And this presupposes the success of the process. A lot of times people go in to do transformation, but they haven't gotten congruent yes from the person, not just their conscious mind, but subconsciously that they do want this transformation. Now, what happens sometimes is a person will say yes, but their body will say something else. And that's why it's important for you to have sensory acuity and awareness. At SIA, our advanced course, we spend half a day teaching just sensory acuity so you notice distinctions. Sometimes I say to someone, trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to let go of that behavior? And they go, yes. And they'll cross their legs. So what? The mouth is saying yes, but what is the body saying? So it's important to have that level of expanded awareness. So who can give me another example? Who would like to be my demo that has a specific thing that they would like to change? Let's get some microphones over here, right over there. Let's get a microphone to this goddess, another microphone over here. We're here from a few people. Yes?
So I would like to just, the action isn't my issue all the time. It's getting started sometimes, and the anxiety that I build up within myself prior to doing something. And if it doesn't come out the way that I would like it to, then I kind of shut myself down.
So what's the old behavior that you're like, I would love to let go of this today?
Anxiety and fear of not being able to accomplish, or if I do accomplish it and not being perfect, to not be so hard on myself and know that I'm enough for that day.
Okay, awesome. So fear is not a behavior, it's a state. Okay? Anxiety is also a state. We could do this process with anxiety, but there's other processes that are more specific for anxiety, because what happens with anxiety is somebody is anticipating something in the future not working
in the present.
Exactly. So there is another technique where you can actually go out to that future place and then experience it from a different perspective. Now, I'm sure there's a behavior, though, that shows up in this context. What's the behavior?
Procrastination?
Okay, that's interesting that you said that, because procrastination, how many of you would say procrastination is something you would want to change? You're like with her on that. Okay, now guess what's fascinating about that? Procrastination is not a behavior. Procrastination is a non-behavior. Right? When you're procrastinating, it's not like you're doing a behavior, you're doing the absence of what you would like to be doing. So it's a non-behavior. This is where people get a little confused and stuck, because they want to change procrastination, but you can't change procrastination because it is not substantial in and of itself. It is the absence of something. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to do and work with someone when I'm committed to guide them through this process to a successful resolution is to uncover, what are you doing instead that doesn't work? So let's say that you'd like to be focused on creating your business, but something else is showing up that we've been labeling procrastination. What is the actual action that person has been taking that doesn't serve them? I had someone in class who said procrastination, and for her, she was playing some type of solitaire or video games on her phone. So that was her distraction. And she was doing this to the tune of a couple hours a day, where she would stop and go on her phone and just play these games. So the question I asked her is, what are you doing instead of doing the thing you want to do? So when you say procrastination, what are the things that you were doing that you don't want, that don't serve you? For example, spending too much time just surfing the internet without a specific plan or purpose, watching too much television. Watching too much television works perfectly for this. Do you have a specific behavior?
I think I don't focus on something. I kind of do a billion and one things. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I procrastinate so long that I still need to do that first thing. So I'll want to wake up earlier so I can go get my run in. But then I end up not waking up early, and I end up going later. So everything is later. So then my day...
Okay, so now we're getting a specific behavior. Do you see how this technique is very context specific? For this one to work, I want to find that behavior, because we're going to recode it. But if we keep it ambiguous, it's going to be tricky with this specific process. So what I would say is, you said a specific thing about waking up. Has it been, we talked about this earlier over here. Mm-hmm. Has a challenge waking up in an inspiring way to go start your day, has that been a challenge?
Yes, because I don't go to bed because my mind isn't shut off, because I've started so late in my day, until really late. So
Okay,
I've
now we
already-
got to rewind. Okay, this is a great point. Do you know that in the original transliteration in the book of Genesis, where you start looking, and this is a great, interesting insights from these stories, is that the day begins in the evening.
And usually I come more alive in the nighttime because I've been half asleep during the day.
How's that working for you?
It's not working very well.
Oh, good. We're glad you're here. So, the day begins in the evening. So, as the book says, it says it was evening and it was morning, day one. Okay? So, what we want to do is we want to find a specific thing. Okay? So, what it might be a practice for you in the evening. I'd like to be able, what I've been doing in the evening is I've been spending too much time at night doing what? What were you doing that doesn't serve you at night?
Well, I should
Watching
be.
sitcoms. Who watches or not sitcoms, these sequences of things. What are they called? Series. That of course, I know series. And it's not empowering you. You're kind of stuck in the series, but it's really not elevating your life. That's an example. I want to wipe out these series and focus on something that elevates my life. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's come up with a couple other examples because I'd like to pick a demo. This goddess over here is standing.
To not be late. And it wouldn't
Okay.
matter.
So has late been showing up?
Oh my gosh. And it wouldn't matter.
Were you late today? You were late? Were you late back from lunch?
No, I was early from lunch, but I had an interview this morning, so yeah, I was late.
Okay.
They
I'm
locked the door.
just checking.
But it's really
I'm
interesting
loving you through it.
because I could be up hours in advance, hours. And then I'm walking in 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, and it drives me bonkers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got a couple techniques for that, but they're different techniques, but I could still use this for the late one. Okay, let me
Thank
give you.
you.
Do you guys want a little bonus? Okay. If I gave you a little bonus, would it be great if we maybe stayed it just a couple minutes later today, just in case? I just want to make sure I check with you beforehand. Yes? Okay, come up here just for a quick second. I'm going to give you a little bonus. This is just for a second. Just for a second, okay? I'm going to give you a little bonus on neogenesis, which is different from the new behavior generator, but just so you can see it. I'm just going to help her with time just for a second, just so you can see, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to trust your intuitive wisdom, and I'm going to ask you to point to whatever comes to mind first. And just point. You can point any way that you intuit. Point to your past. Point to your future. Okay, so now I'd like you to imagine that there's a timeline running through you with the past and the future. Tell me where the timeline is. Does it move through you? Or are you on top of it?
I'm walking on top of
You're
it.
walking on top of it, okay? So she is actually in time. The past is back there, the future's here, she's in the moment. You with me? I'm gonna show her very quickly how to recode her timeline in just a second. Watch this. Tell me what happens, and you can maybe have a soft gaze, but allow this to happen. Allow this past to come out in front of you like a ruler like this. Where all of a sudden the past is actually over here and the future's over here. And this is a ruler right in front of you. And you can see the moment of now. Past is here, future's here. How's that different than how you were storing time before?
It's flipped.
Totally, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you do this, you won't be late anymore.
Really?
Well, what you want to do, you don't want to make love this way, right? If you're making love this way, it'd be a little boring. Like, hey, honey. Okay? You don't make love to your partner like this. You manage your time this way. And then once you're in the appointment, you put it back so you're in the present moment. If you are in a business and you want to forecast and you want to strategize, and you want to set your systems, you look at it this way, right? And then when you're in the moment, you go back into it. So what if I told you that each one of you in here stores your timeline in a way that was completely outside of conscious awareness? You probably had no idea where your timeline was. But the moment that you start understanding where your timeline is, you can completely shift it and move it and have a completely different experience of reality based on that. Is that a little shift or a big shift?
That's a big shift. It's a total reframing of what I
And that was a
think.
bonus. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
You got it. So, at Neogenesis specifically, I show you how to rework your timeline to where you can experience time differently. So, who in the room, just so for time's sake, who in the room has a behavior, a specific behavior that you're ready to do for the very last time today? It doesn't serve you. You're like, hey, Nirka, I'm ready to wipe this out. I had said you before. Let's take a look at a couple other, then let's pick our demo. Yes.
Hi.
Behavior.
It's self-sabotaging.
How so?
For instance, I find something good and I self-sabotage. It's great, and then when I jump into it.
Can you give me, like, I want to make it real context specific, because when you get context specific, we're going to produce a result that's going to ripple out into your life. Where's an area specific?
My fiance.
Okay.
I found him like the most amazing man.
Okay.
And now that I found him, I'm thinking of my past, not what a great guy he is. I'm thinking, oh my God, he's gonna hurt me. I'm scared.
Okay.
And that's a self-sabotaging that I'm doing in my relationship.
Okay, so there's a language, like an internal dialogue that's coming up. Is there a certain behavior that manifests, or is it more internal, or is there a behavior?
Behavior of almost like
Like I pull away, like
Yes.
I kind of shut down.
shut down and pulling away. Yeah.
Is that happening?
And he's thinking he's doing something wrong.
Okay, so has shutting down been showing up? I don't want to use your words. I don't want to use my words. I want to make sure you use your words.
I wouldn't say shutting down, like not showing up, like not being my authentic self with him, not letting him love me.
Okay, so what's the behavior? I'm really getting the specifics. So you said the self-sabotage. What's a specific thing that's showing up that lets you know? I want you to pretend you're taking the day off. I'm going to self-sabotage for you. What do I do? You're going to the beach. I'm going to self-sabotage. What do I do to this amazing man here? I've never heard of the word self-sabotage. You got to give me some instruction. What am I doing?
Okay, so we're going to the beach, you mean? Like,
No, you're hanging out. You're taking the day off. I'm going to self-sabotage. What do I do?
oh,
Not you.
I
You're at the
start-
beach. Tell me what to do. Nurka, you are going to do this.
I start.
You're at the
getting up-
beach.
Okay.
You're hanging out. Okay?
Okay.
Waves, you know,
Okay.
wind. Okay, that's where you are. I'm going to hang out and self-sabotage. You get a day off. How awesome is that?
Okay.
Okay? Tell me, what do I do? Do I say something?
Yeah.
Do I move my body and go away somewhere? What do I do that lets me know I'm self-sabotaging?
I start.
You're at the beach.
Okay. You start.
Thank you.
Start,
There, give her a hand. Okay. Thank you. I start.
Calling, texting, getting upset that you're getting upset that you're not at the beach with me.
I'm getting upset. Okay, I'm getting upset, so I start texting.
Yeah.
And I start calling.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a behavior. You got it? So there's something that triggers a behavior, and what we would want is for something new to happen instead, right? So in the past, the neural pathway has been going this way. We want to interrupt the pattern and have the neural pathway go a different, more empowering way, okay? So there's a text, and these texts are saying, so what would you like to do instead?
Let go and just be present and be at peace.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Whew, give her some love. Yeah, that feels better, doesn't it? Okay. So, who do you know that's a model of possibility? Somebody who's totally at peace that way.
This guy.
So he's a model of possibility? That'd be interesting to use him in the example. Okay. Do you know of someone who would show up the way that you would like to show up? Is it him, or is there another person that's a model that shows up in that place of I'm at peace, I'm calm, it's all good? So what you're going to want to do in a moment is you're going to want to pick a model of possibility for the new behavior. You can pick me.
It'd be you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You could totally pick me.
Yeah.
I would show up differently in that context, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to let go of the old behavior
Yes.
right here and right now today, and for you to integrate the new behavior, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Does any part of you object?
Not at all.
Okay, so clear the screen, just shake it up a second. Now let me ask you this. Just close your eyes gently for a moment and trust your intuitive wisdom. How easily can you think of a time where you were doing that old thing that you used to do back then? And as you think of that old thing that you used to do you have a picture, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Clear the screen. Open your eyes, shake it up. Okay, grab a seat. Awesome. Take a few more, and then we'll pick a demo. Hi.
Hi there. I'm
Hi.
Solomon.
Solomon.
Hello. So one of the things that you mentioned was watching TV.
Yes.
So I do the whole binge series thing.
Okay. Any other series bingers? All right. Oh my goodness, really? And you're cheering. I must admit, I did get into Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos thing. I was geeking out on that for a while. But okay, so they're not serving you, the series is?
Not at all.
Okay, that's the main point.
Yeah. So it's like I have like 10 books sitting on my table. Like I'd rather pick one of those up. Like I'll pick one, read a few pages, and I'll put it back and I'll watch 3 hours of TV.
Okay, okay. So let me ask you this. As you think about that old thing that you used to do, the TV thing, do you have a picture?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the pictures. Is it in color, black and white?
Color.
Okay. Clear the screen on that. Trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to fully and completely wipe out this as a problem right here and right now today completely, and for you to be aware of it consciously, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, does any part of you object?
No.
Okay, awesome, give me a hand. Fantastic. Hang on, one more. Who is a model of possibility? Someone that you could say, you know what? This person is a model of possibility for picking up that book, diving into the knowledge, diving into the reading. If I can, operate in a way that is akin to this model of possibility, who would that be?
Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So as you think of that, do you have a picture
Yes.
of Elon Musk diving in there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so trust your intuitive wisdom. Would it be okay for you to work with Elon to integrate these
Hell yeah.
right here and right now today?
Hell yeah.
Give him a hand, come on up. Okay. All right, give him a hand. You're welcome, brother. Will you just hold the mic for him next to him? Aren't they beautiful? Yeah. I wish I could pick all of you. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do. Before we start, just so we get, is tell me what the problem is. There's a problem a moment ago that we were talking about. What's the problem?
Wasting time.
Wasting time.
Yeah.
Okay, how so?
I feel like I could be a lot more productive. I could do more. I feel like I have so much to offer to the world.
Okay.
But I'm just wasting it watching TV.
Okay, so in the past there was the watching of the series in a way that is just like wasting time, not serving you, and you're ready to let that go.
Definitely.
Awesome. Trust your intuitive wisdom. You ready to let it go right here and right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do, give him some love. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is just face forward, and you're going to do like a gentle, soft, like gaze, close your eyes. So what I'm going to have you do in a moment, in your mind's eye, in your consciousness, I'd like you to notice how easily you could go back to that time where you were doing that old thing, that old behavior. And go into it fully and completely as if it's happening right now, where you're watching, you're turning it on. And allow yourself to go into that state for the very last time. And in a moment, you're going to snap out of it, and we're going to put it on a movie screen in front of you. So go ahead and access it so you feel it in your body, and on the count of 3, we're going to snap out of it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Shake it up. All right, there's a screen right over there, and I want you to imagine this screen. And over there, there's that person, that you on the screen doing that thing that you used to do. You're over here neutral with me. We're watching this movie. Okay?
Okay.
You want any popcorn? Okay. That's kind of funny, huh? All right. So what I'd like you to do... That's kind of a different perceptual position, isn't it? So you're seeing that you on the screen doing the thing that you used to do, and you're over here with me. You just give your body a little shake. And now what I'd like you to notice is how easily the model of possibility shows up right next to you on the screen. There he is, Mr. Musk, Elon Musk, right next to you on the screen, and he's doing that thing he does. He's diving into his learning. He's diving into... And now watch the you on the screen mirroring and matching Elon. Watch the you on the screen breathing the way Elon breathes. How is Elon breathing? Breathe the way Elon is breathing. Where's his physiology? Where's his shoulders? Where's his eye contact? And notice yourself breathing in that way and moving in that way. And now see the you on the screen doing it precisely the same way, with ease and grace, mirroring and matching precisely in that exact same way. And now, does any part of you object to that? Or does it feel good?
It feels amazing.
Okay, good. Because in a moment, not just yet, what we're going to do is we're going to merge with the you on the screen only as quickly as you allow all of this to integrate into every cell of your being on the count of 3. So breathing in that way, moving in that way, allowing that energy to integrate at every cell, physical body, mental body, emotional body. And on the count of 3, we're going to merge. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Okay. All right. So now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think of a specific time in the future. Think of a specific time in the future, like maybe when you come home tonight or in the next few days. In the past, something else would have been there.
Yeah.
But now you have this. What's different?
Inspiration. Like, I don't even see the TV anymore in my house.
Give him a hand. Yeah. Now think of another specific time in the future, maybe like a couple weeks from now. You come home from a long day. In the past, you would have done something else. But now you have this. What's different?
I see there's people sitting around my table and we're like actually discussing about like how we're going to do things in the world, like how we're going to create things.
Give him some love. Yeah. Of course you are. Yeah. Awesome. One more time.
Okay.
Think of another time in the future, maybe like a couple months from now. You know, you come home, it's the end of the day or whatever. In the past, something else would have been there, but now you've got this. What's different?
I'm setting a meeting up with Elon Musk.
Make sure I'm invited.
Yes.
Make sure I'm invited. Give him some love. You got it, brother. Can it really be that simple? I got to ask you a question. If you've been driving to work every day, let's say you've been driving to work every day for 10 years in the same direction. That's just what you've been doing. And then all of a sudden, and it takes you 30 minutes. And then I come and I say, hey, I know how to help you get to work in only 15. It's not going to take you 30. I got a shortcut. Let me show you the shortcut. How long is it going to take you to adopt the shortcut? Are you going to go, wait a minute, I've been going down this other road for so long? What happens is often your brain just hasn't had another pathway. It's just been so used to doing the same thing for so long. It's like you got a record. Y'all remember records, right? Yeah, it's like I did an event the other day. Someone says, "What's a record?" It was the year. I said, "Really? Wow, it's a new world, isn't it?" So it had grooves in it. Yeah. So what's a record? You put it onto the machine, and it's always going to play the same way because there's grooves. But those grooves can be completely reconstructed. It's just a groove on a record. Make sense? If I take the record out and I scratch it up, what's going to happen? It'll never play the same way again. Okay? So that's what this is. Now, the beautiful thing about this exercise is once you learn it, you can guide others and you can do certain versions on it within yourself. Transformation does not need to be difficult. Okay, once you make a decision and there's a congruent yes and you're ready to go, transformation can be very graceful. Okay, it's just getting to that moment where you have a congruent, authentic readiness. This is going to change right now, and that's where we bring you to. Once you're at that place, the next process becomes a natural action because you're in the devotion of that. Okay. One of the things we have at our advanced courses is we have a breakthrough process where people have an opportunity to share their breakthroughs. We don't have time to do that today, but I'm curious, how many of you had a breakthrough experience by going through this? So you go, man, that's a whole new perspective. Awesome. Give yourselves a hand.